Here we go. So here is the Obsidian portal. I'm just going to go ahead and keep working on this guy. Keep this chat over here too. So I haven't added much in here yet, but you can see there's already a lot here as far as tools go. So we have our adventure log, which will be filling in by the players. They'll be able to submit their logs and all that stuff here, so they'll never forget what's going on, hopefully. We'll see. Any GMs out there know how players are. But if you take a look at the wiki, and let me just show you the page from my old one. This is the campaign we did a year ago. Actually, we ended a year ago. Didn't finish it, just ran out of steam. But yeah, basically here's how the session logs look, and they're as long as you want, but we kept them pretty short. And then if you go to the wiki, there's a lot of cool tools just in how the site works. So the front page is what everyone sees when they go here initially. And all these blue things are just links that I was able to put in. So if you take a look at here, there's just a little brief history. There's a map that's just an image you can embed. And I'll show you how the links work. It's super simple. So literally all you do to link is add in a link, just straight HTML, or hit this button and it'll automatically add something in. So you can hit, let's link. And then you've got all your different pages that you can go link to. It's super nice. So let's go back though. And just to give a little idea what this is going to look like later, we can go to basically the main index that I set up. And you've got just all these different things you can look at. So we want to know about landmarks and geography. Click on it. It'll pop up a list of all the other things that you can look at. So the islands and all that jazz. If my internet is keeping up with me here. So there's all the different regions. So if you hear, hey, we're going to be going up to the Forest of Sand in our next session, or they hear about stuff in town and they want to look it up later, they can just come here and take a look, see what's going on. And there's got a little section of the map so they can see where it is. And they can just hot link back. So it's a really cool tool, and I plan to use it as we keep playing the game. Are any of the viewers right now players? Just give me a heads up if you are, so I don't want to do too much here. Anyways, let's go back to the Fiends, which is our current game. We had session 0 on Tuesday. The players got into a bunch of bar fights I wasn't expecting. So that was fun. If you missed that, I think they are editing the video right now, and it'll be uploaded on YouTube. And there's going to be some links below this as well in the panels. And then there's the Discord, where the link is in the chat right now. So take that and add yourself in if you're interested. One more viewer popped in. Hey, how's it going? It's kind of a slow chat. Say hi, ask some questions. We're doing game prep and planning for a D&D 5e where we're homebrewing everything, all the characters even. And I'm just going over Obsidian Portal, which is a great tool. I love the webpage and the wiki setup. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and go to the wiki as we have it. So I would like to interact and just talk about the game and what the world is, and I'm trying to get more interaction from a D&D community to build the game and the campaign, instead of just watching people play and then talking about the game that they're playing. Actually get involved with the community and get people to help build the world, build the campaign, build the story. I think it would be something that's cool, and I haven't seen it a lot, so we're going to do it. And if all 6 of you who are watching this are already the players, and my wife, just deal with the fact that I'm going to do this every time I see new viewers. Oh, I love this. Amber's here to kick butt and chew bubblegum. This is accurate. And then Augie gets a prophecy. Ah, these are so good. They're freakishly accurate. Anyways, do you guys like my my rules? Don't post bad links. Be nice. Oh yeah, you guys need to be added some permissions. Let's do this. Block. That's your permissions. What do you want? You're a streamer. You know how to admin stuff. Ah, you get all this too. You just don't own it. It's mine. Good to go. Amber, you get the same stuff. Just don't break it. There you go. Why was yours gibberish? Welcome, friends. Eventually I need to get a boom and a shock mount for this mic. I need to be able to type. Oh, please don't break it. Please don't break it, Amber. Or if you break it, at least make it entertaining. All right, now I gotta figure out how to get the Discord app onto my stream. How do we get this chat thing going onto the stream? Does anyone know? Show me how to do this. Well, the sound, I'm just gonna go into the computer, and then I'll have it listen. Right now, all my computer sounds are disabled, so. Anyways, how's the editing going? Oh, they aren't there yet. Slackers. Yeah, no, like, I'm just gonna use this. Oop. Oh, look. There we go. It's bad. That was loud from my ears. Okay, that's better. Hurry up, Andrew, get clean. All right. All right, well, while you guys are doing whatever it is you're all doing, I'm gonna open up this thing over here that you'll see in a second. Open in a new tab, please. It's so tiny that I can't show you. So what's the topic for tonight? Are you trying to get me organized, doggy? It's not gonna work. Lost cause, man. The topic for tonight was figure out the topic for tonight at 6 o'clock. And then at 6 o'clock, nothing worked. So I fixed things until it was time to start the stream. So the topic for tonight is, I spent all my time trying to decide that on trying to get the stream to work. So the topic for tonight is we're hanging out. I'm going to show you some stuff that I use, I guess. We're going to figure out Discord, and we're going to bore everyone. I also couldn't figure out how to get a D&D tag for the stream, so we're just talking. Basic campaign structure for new DMs. Yeah, sure, let's do that. Off the top of my head. So this isn't like one of those YouTube videos where they've been practicing and they've been planning forever. This is just all off the top of my head. Campaign structure for new DMs. All right. Should I use Notepad or Word? Or I could just put it in the Discord chat. That'd be sweet. Okay. Campaign. What did you call it? Structure for new GMs. All right. So first, you got to figure out how long you want to do this for. And I'm talking length of the campaign. So I'll give you an example. When we were deciding to do our new campaign, we decided we're going to do it once a month. Now, if we do this for a year, that's only 12 sessions. If we don't miss any, which we're not, right, guys? We're not missing any sessions because that would be horrible and it would make me feel really bad and make me sad. So you got to figure out how long is this going to go for? Not only the session number, and then also how long are your individual sessions going to be. So we decided on 3 hours. Anything less than 3 hours, and you really gotta decide what to cut out. So I guess we can go over some of that. So we're doing a once a month campaign, which is pretty reasonable for most people that all work full-time jobs and all that jazz. And that's 12 campaign sessions in 1 year. I don't think, for us in our group, I think a year is pretty much it. And then we're either going to need to start something new or go into, phase 2 of that campaign, but there will be a break there. It's generally not a good idea to plan for indefinite gaming. Don't do that. Games always end. And it might be 12 sessions in, it might be 30 sessions in, but it's going to end. So figure out where your end is going to be and plan for that. Don't let it happen, because if it just happens, it's not going to be good. Everyone here has had that happen. Mostly in games that we've all been running. Augie's games, my games, they've never had satisfying conclusions. And part of the problem, at least on my end, is that I never planned for the end. I just made a good story that I thought was good and threw the players in and expected that they would get to a resolution at some point. players are terrible at getting to resolutions. Do not trust them to do this for you. If you haven't planned for the resolution, it's never coming. What about one-shots? Oh no, I did an up. There we go. One-shots can work. And honestly, I think one-shots are probably the best thing you can do as a new GM. Yeah. So the cool thing about the one-shot is that as a new GM, I mean, as an experienced GM, there's some other caveats that are great, but as a new GM, you can screw up a lot. And you've only ruined one game. And it's going to happen to everybody. You're going to ruin a game, and that's just going to be what it is. But it's a good chance to try things out. Chances are your players are going to screw things up too. Rules and how their character was supposed to be made, and wait, why do you have 300 hit points? Like, why is your AC 28? Like, that makes no sense. So one-shots are good for those kind of things, just working out and playing with the rules. It's also really hard to get new players to say, yeah, sure, I'll sit down with you for a year and play this game for 3 hours a week. Like, I don't know anything besides generate income that I do for 3 hours a week, except for watch TV. But if I don't do that, I'll go crazy. So, and now this, I guess. I do this for 3 hours a week because I'm going to hang out with you guys every Tuesday. But anyways, one-shots. It's a 3-hour game where you can have a beginning, a middle, and an end. But if you really want to get a good structure in, let's talk about individual session structure. I'll just start a new thing for it. So whether you're doing a one-shot or, and yeah, Augie, good point. Easy to make nice, quick, exciting one-shots that could turn into more of what the players like. Definitely true. This has happened. I think, what game was it that I was running? I did it with you guys, I think. We had a one-shot that you guys had a lot of fun with. It had a decent resolution, but I left something hanging anyways, just in case. And we ended up playing like 3 or 4 more sessions, just randomly. And that's the other thing. One-shots are perfect, and a DM who's good at running one-shots, it's just the perfect thing for when your regular game falls through. We have a game right now that we're playing that has 9 players? I think there's 9? I don't know, I'm not going to count right now, but there's a lot. There's too many. Matt Mercer would have trouble doing that. And no one else will ever be Matt Mercer. Yeah, 9 to 11, yeah. So there's a lot. I mean, combat alone, if you take 30 seconds on your turn during combat, I mean, you're looking at combats that take easily half an hour. So what's that math? Google, help me. My brain is fried. I do have a headache from work. Staring at screens all day. So if you have more than 8 players, let's just go 8. You're Matt Mercer. You're going to do 8 because Matt Mercer's awesome and he makes it look so easy. If all of your players take 30 seconds to take their turn, you're looking at, I should know this off the top of my head. Yeah, 4 minutes a round. And since we go in order, that's 3 minutes and 30 seconds that every other player is doing nothing. So keep that in mind. And if you have 10 rounds in one combat, which is really not that hard to do, right, guys? 10 rounds? That's too much. Don't do that. You're going to have people that maybe they're all excited about it. Doesn't matter. Take the first 4 people, or the most consistent 3 to 4 people, and run a game there. Run a one-shot, and then do another one-shot for the other 4 people. No. Know how many players you got to work with before you start structuring your session. Because for every 1 or 2 players you add, that it doesn't scale in a linear fashion. The difference between 3 and 4 players is pretty significant. The difference between 4 and 5 players is even more significant. And it gets worse as it goes on. I don't remember what I was starting. Players who know what they're doing. Payers. Still take about 30 seconds to decide their turns. And even if you watch great players who have tons of experience, they still take this amount of time. If you have players that don't know what they're doing, I mean, we can have one person's turn taking 5-10 minutes, especially if they got to look up rules and things like that. So plan for the amount of time. If you have 3 hours, don't spend an hour and a half of it, unless everyone just wants to do combat and that's it. Don't spend an hour and a half of it on combat, because if you plan for an hour and a half, you're going to spend 2.5. All right, individual session structure. Thanks for keeping me on track, Augie. I'm rambling. So, what I would suggest for a 3-hour session, plan 5 things. And I say things for a reason, because they can be combats, shopping, oops. For a 3-hour session, plan 5 things. And you'll see this. If you watch our streams, you'll see 5 things. I kind of feel bad. I feel like I had to railroad just because I was a little flustered last game. First time doing the stream live, it was a little weird. Setup was a little nuts too. And we only had like 2 hours. Oh, Augie, you're talking about like actual phases. I'm talking about 5 things you want them to do, because we might rearrange these a little bit later. I am a pour all the puzzle pieces out of the box first kind of guy. Yeah, just right off the bat. So we're gonna have 5 things. 5 things to do. All right, let's split this into 2 phases. You have planning and playing. Planning. For a 3-hour session, plan 5 things. Combat, shopping. Oh, good, you didn't feel railroaded. Good. I won't tell you where it was then. But I did really enjoy Edward Jacobson and Jacob Edmondson. There. And see, Augie, you can improv. For those of you who are in the chat, you can improv, Augie, because you've been doing D&D for such a long time that you can pretty much make up stats on the fly. And I did that too. So, Amber, those bar fights, I had no idea you guys were gonna get into a bar fight. That was nuts. And I was like, I'm so glad I have a list of names and a basic stat thing. Yeah. So I had no idea you guys were gonna get into bar fights, and then I had to make up the stats on the fly. But I knew how hard I wanted it to be, and I've been running the game long enough that I just made it up. I knew what the hit points were, I knew what the unarmed attacks were, and you set a couple of rules around that. And and you go from there. Now, in hindsight, and we'll go over this a little later too, in hindsight, it was kind of dumb. It was really stupid of me to not think you guys would get into the bar fights. Like, literally right by the front door, there was the sign-up window for the fights, and on the other side of the door was the betting window for the fights. Like, the fact that I didn't see that coming was just stupid. And that's, you know, for everyone who's going to be a DM, that's kind of how it is. You go, you make plans, and then you're like, how did I not see that? That was so obvious. So, yeah, especially with Daniel. He's like, a bar fight? What? I can win money? Sure. But the stuff like that I love. I mean, I want you guys to always do stuff like that because it makes the game yours. Instead of just me going, hey, this is a story and you have to do this. Like, there's something big happening and it's really interesting, but you don't necessarily have to do it.